Good evening, everyone. Today we will discuss the topic diabetes, which is very common among the population. We will discuss here the disease of diabetes and its pathophysiology, its symptoms, and its treatment. Diabetes is a disease in which the body's ability to produce or respond to the hormone insulin is impaired, resulting in abnormal metabolism of carbohydrates and elevated levels of glucose in the blood. Diabetes is basically of two types: diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus, we will discuss it later, but at present we will discuss diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus, it is a heterogeneous metabolic disorder characterized by varying degree of insulin hyposecretion and or insulin insensitivity. Basically, diabetes mellitus is of three types. Type 1 is insulin dependent diabetes, whereas type 2 is insulin independent diabetes, and the third one is gestational diabetes, which is also known as the pregnancy related diabetes, which occur due to the imbalance of the hormones during the pregnancy period. And now discuss about the type 1 diabetes mellitus, which is insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Its etiology, it is caused due to genetic factors, environmental factors, autoimmune disorders, due to the diet, stress, and many more. Now let us discuss about the pathophysiology of diabetes. The how diabetes basically occurs. Whenever we eat food, the food rich in carbohydrates, our food is broken down into small unit glucose, which is absorbed into the small intestine and reaches the blood circulation. The increased level of glucose activates the beta cells in the pancreas, which are responsible for the insulin production. Beta cells release insulin to maintain the blood glucose level, which binds to its receptor present on the surface of various body cells. And binding of insulin opens the channel so that the glucose can enter into the cell, and also uh, where the cell can use this glucose to produce energy and function properly. But now what happens in the diabetes is, in type 1 diabetes, immune system, especially WBCs, mistakenly attack the beta cells by producing the antibodies. As the autoimmune system, our immune system considered beta cells as the foreign bodies, so it generate chemical indicators like antibodies to kill the beta cells. In that response, the beta cells get dead or degenerated. By because of this phenomena, the beta cells gets fail to release the insulin. Means the beta cell will produce little or no insulin, and due to this problem, the insulin level gets decreased, which is not sufficient to metabolize the insulin, to metabolize the glucose. So this because the here the glucose will not be metabolized, and hence the blood glucose level will rise up, and which leads to hyperglycemia. Now, type 2 diabetes mellitus, which is insulin independent diabetes. Its causes are like genetics, beta cell defects, insulin resistance, or obesity. And what is its pathophysiology? And in first of all, the normal functioning, means the normal metabolism of the glucose is same in as in type 1 and type 2, because the glucose breakdown in the similar way in both the condition. But the problem arises when the glucose is failed to metabolize. So here we will discuss about the type 2 metabolism. Type 2 pathophysiology means the binding of insulin to its receptor is blocked due to receptor mutation. Here, I want to make it clear that uh, before the insulin production is here, before this first point, what happen is whenever we eat the carbohydrate rich diet, our carbohydrates are broken down into the simple unit, that is glucose, which is absorbed into the our intestines and reaches the blood, where When there is a normal function, beta cells will release the insulin, which will metabolize the glucose. But here what happens, the beta cells will will release the insulin, will form the insulin, but the insulin fails to bind with the its receptor. Why it happens? It happens because of the mutation in the receptors. So here our first point explains binding of the insulin to its receptor is blocked due to receptor mutation. Here is the point that why insulin is not binding to its receptor. It's due to receptor mutation, or our body get insensitive towards the insulin. In response, glucose is unable to enter the cell. As longer the insulin fails to bind its receptor, it will not act on the cell. It will not open the channels for the glucose. Hence the glucose will remain in the blood, and hence rise the blood glucose level, which will definitely leads to hyperglycemia. And what are the signs and symptoms of diabetes? So type 1 and type 2, the similar signs and symptoms, as they have the little bit of same pathophysiology, they also share the same sign and symptoms. Like what kind of sign of symptoms there are? Polyuria, polydipsia, and polyphasia. Whereas polyuria is excessive urination and polydipsia is excessive thirst, whereas polyphasia is excessive hunger. So in a short or in summarized way, what I can say is diabetes is a metabolic disorder. It is of two types: diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus, whereas diabetes in mellitus itself has three types, and type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is insulin dependent and type 2 is insulin independent. Type 3 is gestational diabetes, whereas in type 1 there is a lack of insulin, there is a little or no formation of insulin. But in type 2, the insulin is formed, insulin is released by the beta cells, but insulin fails to bind its receptor, which leads to the increased level of glucose in the blood. And in both the situation, there is a hyperglycemia. Now, the next we will discuss the complications related to the diabetes. So, there are lots of problems which are generated due to diabetes, because the diabetic patient have lots of problems, have lots of complications, just like atherosclerosis, myocardial infarction, hypertension, skin infections, eye diseases, diabetic neuropathy, diabetic naturopathy, diabetic ketoacidosis. Ketoacidosis is very common in the diabetic patients. And how we can diagnose the diabetes? In nowadays there is a device, glucometer, which is very common among the diabetic patients, among the diabetic families. Where there is a diabetes, people use a glucometer, which by which we can test the glucose within a moment. And there is a range limit how we can detect if the person is getting diabetes or not. If there is a if the in fasting condition, if the glucose level is less than 100 mg per deciliter, then it is normal. If the person in fasting condition having 100 to 125 mg per deciliter, then the person may be pre-diabetic. Whereas if the range in the fasting condition rise more than 126 mg per deciliter, then we can say that the person is diabetic. Whereas after meal, means after food, the glucose level, the normal glucose range is 180 mg per deciliter. Hope the concept of the diabetes is very much clear, and thank you so much.